Do you feel like that sometimes you worry about the future or your age is stopping you from being successful in anything? Do you feel like there's something inside of you that you could have done or you should have accomplished years ago or been talked out of? And had you just took that right turn instead of the left, you'd be in a certain position in life? I get you. I totally get that. I remember when I was younger, I used to think that, I grew up with just only a mom, no dad around, and I would always visit some of my friends, and they had the full package, the Brady Bunch, let's say. And I always felt like the outcast. I always felt like that I was always going to have to struggle because I didn't have that full package. Like there was always that missing piece. And that bothered me for a while when I was younger. And then I realized that if I ever got bullied or if I felt like I needed a dad to take up for me, that was never going to happen. I don't want to take anything from my mom because my mom did an incredible job of raising our family. Like my older sisters were a hoot. I'll just say my oldest sister was something. Still is to this day. And I always felt like, being the only boy, it was kind of hard. It was because I could never talk to my sisters about anything, such as girls or how to handle them. I had to learn the hard way because every time the girls had to go somewhere, I had to go because I had to be the snitch. Which was a great lesson for me. Because let me tell you something. I learned a lot. Like I can talk in front of people. I can talk to any girl. Doesn't matter who they think they are or how glamorous they think they are. I know deep down inside who they really are without the makeup. Let's just put it that way. Stay with me, ladies. I'm not being ugly. I'm just saying. There's a positive twist to this. But I always felt like that since I didn't have that full package or the Brady Bunch family, that I could always relate to my pain of things that I didn't have when I was younger. You know what I mean? Like for Christmas, all I ever wanted for Christmas from like 6 years old all the way up to 12. I always wanted a bike. Never could afford it. Never could afford a simple bike. I just wanted a 10-speed bike. All my friends had bikes. I was always walking while everybody was on the bike. So I had to do a lot of running. That's why I got some big thighs right now. And then finally, when I got the bike, my grandpa decided that he wanted to put a big basket on front of my bike. Who wants to ride a bike that you've been wishing for forever with a basket on front? Yeah, you talking about the kids back then, they gave you a little hard time. With the back. Look at Lemmy with that basket on front. Where you going? Because my grandpa thought, you know what? You're going to go get some groceries for your grandmother. Whew. Yes, sir. Here's my point. Have you felt like that the things you didn't get to do has already passed you by and you don't have what everyone else has? But let me tell you, there's always one thing you have, and that's pain. And you can always talk about your pain. Yes, everyone has a story to tell. And that's the great thing about what we're doing here on this platform, or going back to your normal or your school, your childhood school or mini schools. Your pain. You can always talk about your pain. There's many people who write books about the struggles that they went through when they were younger, and they've become very successful with that. Most people think, oh, you got to have this big brain. You got to have this CEO mentality. You got to have this big degree from Stanford and all that just to make a simple dollar. No, my friends. All you need is your mouth and talk about your pain. Because your pain is very relatable to what most people are going through right now. Like, there are kids in the world who are going through the same thing that you went through, and they need help and they need guidance. And you, my friend, could actually be their release, their stress reliever. You could be their guide. And there's older people right now at a job that they hate, and they have so much pain that they can talk about inside of their own life or their family or their company that would help them. Let me tell you a story about my wife and her friend. They used to work at a really high retail store. Everyone knows. And they were up there in the executive levels. And they were getting tired of their jobs, and we all decided that they should write a book. And they were like, you know what? We should do that. I was like, yeah, y'all should do that. They wrote a book. I didn't know that on book launching day that I was going to be the one that's going to introduce them and all that. But you know what? I did it. I was able to introduce them, get the crowd going, because I'm sure they were nervous. And they said a few speeches, and it was a great thing. Imagine this. Writing down your pain and people relating to what you had to go through with all the craziness that goes on in stores. All the crazy. I mean, I'm surprised a person hasn't written a book on Walmart yet. Like, just a clerk that's a cashier, just the everyday. I mean, there's a story in everything we experience every single day. Why are we not doing that? Isn't that crazy? Everyone has a story. There are things that has not been written yet that should have been already out there. And some will just die with that great story. And I want you to relate to that lady who wrote Harry Potter. Things like that. She just brought that out of nowhere. People who created these movies. Like some of you guys remember E.T. and all that. Rocky, Sylvester Stallone story, comeback stories. How do they come up with things like this? Because they go back to their pain. I know you have pain, right? There's some pain in your life. If you don't have any struggles in your life, then good for you. You are blessed. And let me tell you, my friend, there might be a day you're going to turn left instead of right. And there'll be a struggle. There should be some struggle that you can talk about later. But the point of this video is, if you have a story to tell, don't hide behind your eyelids. Tell your story. Somebody needs to hear it. And if someone has a story for you, listen to it. Don't interrupt them. Just listen to them. You might be able to encourage them to talk about their pain. If this video has resonated with you and you have a story to tell, in the comments below, just say, hey, I have a story to tell. Share it or say, I need to do this. And I'm sure these great people that watch these videos along with you will encourage you to get started, because that's what positive people do. We need to go change the world. I need your help because I can't do it all by myself. So please subscribe. I am on my way to 1 million subscribers, and I need your help. Click that like and subscribe button. Send this to someone that you know that might be struggling with what they're going to do with the world that's outside right now. Because they probably think I can't do this or that. Understand everybody has a pain, and you might just be the next big speaker on stage or social media platform. You can do it. I believe in you. Have a great day.